Adeshima premo ato ewo UTV so kase boy ensaka na yede ebremu yede free ship house Abeka Junction Accra na yeto amane obabi a wo hwe yen free bia obetimi so ha hwe yen e de free Facebook live eno eye UTV Abusiafo nyumako bia da Roma no masoma sene ama mede prem to breka se boy ebremu ye wo this way chocolate drink de ohia ye nsuo hye ye wo special ice mineral water ye wo special drinks ye wo best point savings and loans ye wo best assurance afina fitiasie mepa mo che mo cars no a mo ko no makwakọ register na ya mo insure mo nko best assurance na mo insure ma mo na ni nyina no ebekọ kama pa sanso ne wo best pension wo da chi 70 now so uduti akọhya na abo da chi ama ne o manyina timi akoso kase boy yenhwe de edimo akotini ebia anope ya enche ye bia na mampanyi Akosua do akwakopie mu ewo emrahye bedwam state of the nation's address etwato no wode akwakoto edwaye beko na yakwakotie ensem no ebi nyame ya adom a eye January da etoso enso ayema mampanyi ayi no asofene mu asuade a kire omamu ni nyina no eho nhyehyeye no osofo a hwa amana ne nsem so wo chese nye nipa bebre no mbehia wonom ewo ho ama eno ho asem wode aba Ghana Education Service so they are two edwa sense achaya bank kwada no wo nso hwem se enim so matena fi ache eti ama mo bre no kakra ya twem kakra se de be ya wo mo betimi asua de no mo kotro so hwe no a wo matimi apase ama eno ho asem aba bepiem ye ka se ye kopiem amanoni nsem a UK se de asia ye ne de sei lockdown no na beba esan se de coronavirus no esi eje ne ho ntere ha wo ho no ano ede nsem bi ka ho na me de bra mo wo kasebo Midday ede Akosua Sarpong afe kasebo no emu ensem enie anope ya na Ghana mampanyi na ado dankwa Akosua ado kopie mu ewo emrahye bedwam what the state of the nation address ekokotu edwa wei ene de etwato ewo emfie nan a obetena akonwa so se mampanyi no na ne nsema hodo a wode bitu dwa no yenko na yenkohwe bi
Constitution, I have come before this august house to deliver on the dissolution of this 7th Parliament a message on the state of the nation, which is essentially an account of my stewardship as President of the Republic these past 4 years. On 7th December 2016, the good people of Ghana went to the polls and honored me and my party, the New Patriotic Party, by voting us into office. We were given a clear and unequivocal mandate with decisive victories in the presidential and parliamentary elections. And by the grace of the Almighty, the Vice President, Alhaji Dr. Mahamadou Bawumia, and I were sworn into office on January the 7th, 2017. We had presented to the people of Ghana during the campaign a clear plan of how we intended to grow and transform the economy. Speaker, we thought we knew that we would face a difficult situation, but when we took a good look, we were still taken back by the state of the economy we inherited. An economy with severe macroeconomic instability, weak growth, a troubling financial sector, low investor confidence, and significant structural bottlenecks. The basic facts of our unhappy inheritance are well documented. 15.4% rate of inflation, a 9.3% fiscal deficit, 32% rate of interest, a 3.4% rate of GDP growth, the lowest in 2 decades, all under an IMF-sponsored bailout program. We set to work quickly, and I'm glad to say that we've been able to stabilize the economy, exit satisfactorily the IMF program, and restore confidence in the economy. At the end of 2019, the economy was characterized by strong growth in response to implementation of government flagship programs, single-digit inflation, reduced fiscal deficits with 3 consecutive years of primary surpluses, relatively stable exchange rate, significant improvement in the current account with 3 consecutive years of trade surpluses, strong foreign exchange reserve buffers, and markedly reduced lending rates. The global pandemic of COVID-19 threatened to derail the progress chalked over the first 3 years of my administration. Its impact has led to the revision in GDP growth for 2020 from 6.8% to 0.9% and later to 1.9% to reflect significant slowdown in economic activities as a consequence of the effects of COVID-19 on lives and livelihoods. The proactive decisions taken by government to fight the pandemic, as well as revitalize and transform the economy with the 100 billion CD Ghana Cares or Batampa program, anchors bright prospects for the medium term. Government will continue to implement prudent fiscal measures to quicken the pace of fiscal consolidation. And in March this year, the Minister for Finance will come to this august house to provide further details on the measures to be taken to restore our country back to the path of economic recovery. Mr. Speaker, government in 4 years has recorded a number of significant milestones in our quest to formalize and modernize the Ghanaian economy. We believe it is the fairest and fastest way to achieve our goals. The National Identity Card rollout, the National Digital Property Addressing System, the interoperability of mobile money transactions, the introduction of the paperless operations at the port, e-business registration system, and access to digital financial services are all part of the drive to formalize our economy and enhance its productivity. For years, there had been unhappiness and sometimes agitation on the subject of the geographic delineation of regions in the country. In the particular case of what was to become the OT region, their demand for a new region stretched back to more than 60 years. We decided that we needed to resolve these matters to be able to bring governance nearer to the people. The constitutional processes for the creation of new regions was put in place, and after the petitions and stakeholder consultations, the people in the identified areas have the opportunity to vote in historic referenda. There were overwhelming approvals for the yes vote in the referenda held in 47 districts across 4 existing regions. This led to the creation of 6 new regions, and we now have 16 instead of the 10 regions that existed at the start of my administration. 4 years ago, it sounded recklessly optimistic, but free SHS and free TVED are now entrenched parts of our educational setup.
Director General, Ghana Education Service. Director General, Ghana Education Service, Professor Akosua Opoku Amankwa, openyi na wode atu edwase afimpinu ne aduonu bako. And sorry one more senior high school, any junior high school ebetro no, yade a wo matwe breni mu kakra. Na no no che se omo betro wasi no, eno September ni October, na omo ebetro no, na fe BC ne so omo ebetro no November mu.
Kwanjefo penyi a ohwe ngumesua so binfo Opoku Amankwa na wo kasa e won sentwefo nhie mu omfreye e wo enkran no ase and will see in Fimpiminu any Edunuba 2021 BEC in Soshano and Kodana Betro November Bosumina Aboye Pa Amometimi Esuandie was see and nam coronavirus Nintino and Corano Etenefi and nam so Amadie so Mutimishiano Mentimi and Sheni Nada 1824 no se Ebeboama and Kodano Ekokotina Demna so mu Eshiadia or Moshiano Macho and Soshano Eye.
Assuming that the right in August, September 2021, as they did in 2020 due to the COVID, then they were going to cover 1,520 contact hours, and then we'll be short of 181 hours. Then we looked at October, November. October, November is also a period that WAEC writes exams. So if we decide that we are agreeing for WAEC to write the exams for October, November, what it means is that they would have done 1,880 hours, and they will have about 180 extra hours that they would have done. But we also needed to make provision for marking and release of exams and then reopening. So if we decide to do October, November, it may be difficult for WAEC to release exams early enough for admissions to take place in January. So what, per our calculation, we have proposed September, October, and when we put in the September, October date, we noticed that we would have covered 1,700 hours. So we will only be short of 1 hour contact period, which we can always make up for.
Na eba wasi so hwene so a wo kire say eye August and September bosume no na nkura no so betwra ebeboa papa.
For the 2021 academic year, we would write the exams in September, October for WASI, and then the BEC will do that in November. 2022, the WASI will then come up to July, August, and then the BEC will be in September. 2023, WASI we could then come back to our normal situation, which will be the May, June, and then the BEC will follow suit. Usually, the BEC is written a week or two after the WASI.
Abusia yenko parliament na yeni ensentro ni ahenkan prince ending komo na yemisa no president kasa wiye no eden na ekoso prince o teme nka ma he
me na ba me do so
yo somo ho na yenhwe president kasa wiye na chire asem etese
you when the president of the republic said emra no ene obi mu the state of the nation address and the final part as part of the first term no ebrai na upper parliament ha and ejuma di no man ya wo main chamber parliament chamber na nkata because of COVID-19 protocols any space and na kwan ya better tentamunti omo beti dome and tent ni bi ewo parliament car park wonte ho eno mu ye obi a ekom na the president of the republic eba ha the PM na do by oba one no hukani beji ubeka ene ba the vice president enso eba one no hukani chief justice enso the PM ha ene supreme court judge na eba ha speaker of parliament that na komyo then both minority majority na no mo ha minority led by honorable Idus also na owa afi majority leader enso ewa ha honorable Techementa bonso almost the PM ha na afi ebeka house ni nyina wo nyina na de obi by no absentees obi a by eno na some of the president of the republic edia to jane say ono de ogidi say the first term no waye ni obetimi ayibia I will say wale foundation for the second term second term ya Ghana for ato aba amano no obere say ntema o ka so obeye no e wo the second term no obeye obi e na oba be wi no ka sem bi kakra e ma e kota na echi no between majority and minority no ko ka say ono de office say aba na ye to ye no e free and fair election say the okaye no na ono office say omo ntia say no omo so omo court no they will not hold the law with impunity. That word no use to yenti or carry na owie na sem nyina na minority leader. I don't do Rebecca say ono de omo believe in the principles of the rule of law. Enti abi omo de afa no omo di say omo nya atenten na so the president who say a hang parliament na oba aba to control ewo the second term no enti omo twen say obeba na oba be so ni no so my nominate omo speaker enti o kan na majority for here we know about statement about very to just omo they have the majority enti they believe that the majority will push the president's second term agenda no however that be the president of the republic because we on the leadership of the house led by a speaker ekokuko mekudi nkomo ta kokom nkomo no echen di beye tima beye diasa ema omo wi tafe na the president of the republic alivi a parliament ha ema vice president so ababete eko chief of staff ababete eko judges the supreme court judges somebody led by chief justice on ababete eko ntu ba dia that be the possible mutual fulfilling na ababeti kwa o sha se oba parliamentary that dey be ababi every state of the nation address na the president of the republic and by na ye rete ye ne MPC no mo wali bi na be hwen komo na ye tell you so mo ka efa the president state of the nation address no.
Oh, ahoma no ate atom nanka ye boy ahomode said ye prince kan nanka ohwese obetimi ne epadifo edi nkomo so ahoma no edi ye hwamo ye to aso edi ana mampanyi akufo ado edi bas yibi edi akwakoma esukufo awomo mfimfini mantem no onimonyafo kwame nadanka no no na ejina mampanyi ana mu a wode ema wo yenkohwese de esi ye koye
aban biara sey ye won hihye na de wa hoden kasi na gina wumasua do na marepia ya inde epede to hiase epede o man opeja no no nsaso nom da afia na ya etwemu ko ya manpen obaba ya oman ni pen odina hodin ya odegina senior schools a owo man ma oya banze aban ni hihye a waye de obenya ba sa atsentsena kasa mo forman be mo ko bi obotum wa fa ho achachi afoso se edwuma bi aba ma wode wokoka ya obotum wa fa ho a no so wa chichema finfin mantom sesiara enye mo abaka yansa ye donum ana bi enyazi wezinkan we nyana na sesiara so me yede man ye dubi ako a chede aban oguda obohwe ma school bia wenye bi headmistress na headmasters won so bobo ehwanwo ye na wa hwe ba si do ye
school ye hia hen ya ye de wo tutu akwan school for boko competitions nti cars yi free school na brabo mu a onke ye na nyame na adum school a wonye bi obi ani ho a onya aka before 2016 nti ebi nyi bi kra nti wanya mpo mana ye make arrangement for drivers nti aseda na ye de be ma president car no be cher ama wa sum school na a cher school na nyamfaso o car no do na man Ghana nyina no gyina driver fo no nti won hwe car no so yi
ye to akase bono eso na enipa emakomako edu miensa e na omoche so omobo enyeso ewo gwan mansininum na ni nyina no ewo oti region wache se aba ye kokoto ye ne ho nchinwa hyew bi eba ye ema ntiase ne se de esitie no enkoyie enu nti enam so ama akwakopie mu ewo court a ni nyina mu no ye nkona ye nkohwe eye emrahye bedwani a ye yi no ewo buem ono so ka ho bi ye nkohwe se de nsem ne sitie
Nipa dumiensa a omodi omunsam akwakoda court no ekire semfimpimienu ani aduonu 2020 abaye to ye no omampanyi de no de omutumi tubi ewobuem abaton pesua ne so nanso so no eduru ma hyebedwa de no omantimi amfom ho ahyem enti abato komisa twa no pa no anu semache no se obebo mpesua wofro de ama wono mo ato abayi omomra hyebedwani anase by election be koso no mato aba de omo ho ahyem anya sapa de omontiase ne anase wochena.
We registered Jessica, that's WIM consensus. We have the code of WIM, and by the Supreme Court's judgment, we cannot vote anywhere apart from the utility. For that matter, WIM consensus. Now, in the worst scenario where we are not giving the consensus yet, it means we have to vote under WIM. So, since we were unable to vote at WIM on the parliamentary, it is incumbent on us to fight for our rights. Either the Electoral Commission gives us our constituency now, or we vote or we take part in the parliamentary election where anybody who comes out will be true representative of WIM constituency. Because as it is now, it means we are about a part of WIM and we didn't take part in the election. So it means we will not be represented for the next 4 or 2 years.
We registered to actually vote in presidential and also parliamentary. But during the election, we were given the chance to only vote in presidential, which we think it is not correct. Our vote that we did was added to BOEM constituency election for the presidential. But the parliamentary, we were also thinking that we'll vote equally and it will be added to the BOEM. But it didn't happen that way. Why is this so? So we want it to be done now. We want to be given a chance to vote in parliamentary so that we add it to our colleagues one in the BOEM so that the winner will be declared.
And I'm so much for Triben, opinion Gina Yama NPP Amayokono, Ewon Peshiano Suni Din Komono, not so small can any.
I was a bit unhappy because if Sal or one district to be voting book presidential parliamentary, we should be informed that we the candidate, the interested parties, should be informed ahead of time. So I was not too happy. But I entered Sal and did a few of campaigning and was expecting that Sal will vote parliamentary. That I believe would have won my favor. But on Saturday morning, we received another letter, and this was circulated widely by the EC that Sal would not vote parliamentary, they only vote presidential, and they did vote presidential. So if there are agreed persons in Sal or Guan district that feel that they should be given the opportunity to vote in the parliamentary elections, or they should be given the opportunity to be represented in parliament, I think that is a fair demand, and I have nothing at all against that.
Osofo a wono ene hwe amanone ensem so mami Shelia Yokobuchi eno de atudwa so besre Ghana fo nyina nyame adom na se mampanyi wo so afenemu asuaye a se de ya na ebodwa kese ma nipa ba bebre no obesre Ghana fo nim se nkrofo ani je ho se nkom beba behwe bi anke be ya nko mo ntena fie na wo mo nhwe TV ntie radio eno beboa ni nyina ye COVID-19 a ama ne homene so ewo aman ahodo so ene oman mu a ho ana se pegya ne mu ase ekofom no eno de adesede ato animosa.
I would like to appeal to the people of Ghana to work with us, collaborate. Please, we have laid out all the do's and don'ts, the processes, what needs to be done, what is going to happen, and we are hoping and praying that you will do your best. For those of you who do not have any invitations, please watch the ceremony. It will be a beautiful ceremony in the comfort of your home. For those of you who have invitations to come, please adhere to all the protocols that we've put in place and also adhere to the COVID-19 protocols. We do not want a situation where we would finish this beautiful ceremony and then there will be a spike in numbers because people come, they do not wear their face mask, they don't adhere to the protocols that have been set out for all of us. But I can assure you that Ghanaians are always decent and law-abiding people, and therefore those who come, I hope that we will keep to all these accolades that always define us, and for those of you who can't come also, you will join us and celebrate with the president-elect, with the vice president-elect, and that I can assure you that the next 4 years will be 4 years of service to the nation by His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo and the Vice President and his government. So thank you so much for coming.
Ekuo bi a yefra wo mo Sarpong fo wo mo kyese abato komisa afempinu ne aduonu ekokoto waba no wo mo bo adwuma pa wo ne mo toto ye ne mo ye nyina no so mo de to nsani ani a na kyese wo ma yade papa.
Ora to bomfo wono na ye programs director Edema Sarpong na womo eyadwubeku a ensha abayase womo dwumadie ni se ye to aba wo mamu wombebo apro no mo de omani atofom no mahwe se de abato ni nyina no ekro no mo wi omo de ehwa ma ne bo no so aba betudwa na abato komisa ne so ehunu se de ometutu omanamo na no ora to bomfo ekasa no wo kire se womo ehwe se de abato no ekoye ne electoral commission na dwumadie wodi ye wa abato de hye so wonfiam ne aduonu mu December bosome de to so enso ene special vote ye ko so ni nyina wo metimi aka ne people say abato commission wo mo yade papa wo mo dwumadie mu
ye nkrofo no mo kwa omo hwe results ne de omo hwe ni se akwan a emra ne kire no isi diso isi machine oso akoto a wo de wonsa to so a ebe kire se wo no eye adwuma isi official na obaye no adwuma CI ne kire se onye no odiso nti se yenya hwe saa neoma na eno na ye de track se o performance ejina edwuma ye de ahye wonsa se ye to aba no eno ne mayaban nti outcome no ne government nti ye de ne se behwe se processes now akwan a wo fa so ebe mayaban no eye de amratre ana bibi wo ma etochima nti se bibi touchma wo ma ye no na ye de beba epono so aba ya kan ho asem na bi nsi biem because wo hwa election de ntokwaba bebre e wo amano amman bebre mu wo hwa wo sa mod na ye salai no and ye ni isi na kan omo hye bo se ye koye nim no mbehwe se ebesisa because wo pesa wo koto aba ni se wo ko gina wiem onye punishment ntina ko esenia upese kebi mami kebi no wodu hu shema ese wo bre ye mpese yesa nti eno na ye hwe those ye track those activities ne say ye ne sen a ene boa institution that is easy ne boa nipa no electorate no so no so ne right as a person no yentiti aso ne fa hu design ye kan yentiti aso so
ye to aso edia na nyame adom na se mampanyi eso afenemu na wesoye a osofo hwama no ne nsem so ede atu edwa se heads of state ana se aman panimfo makomako edu mienu eda womo ede wodin a kire se womo beba na waba betai nechi
we need Ghana everywhere you need Ghana number 2 but you need Ghana number 3 ina ya Ghana ba kupe
Oh, yes, the names. So far, we have several heads of state who have, and government who have accepted or who are going to be part of the ceremony. Senegal, Cote d'Ivoire, Burkina Faso, Mali, Chad, Angola, Equatorial Guinea, Sierra Leone, Guinea-Bissau, Liberia, Guinea, Togo, Niger, and the other countries that will be represented such as Gambia and Nigeria by the foreign ministers. We also have the foreign minister of India, the foreign minister of France, foreign minister of Rwanda, foreign minister of Gabon. We also have the Attorney General and Minister of Justice of Gambia. We have the UK Minister for Africa. We have the US Special Envoy responsible for the Sahel. Of course, we have the President of the ECOWAS Commission and also the Chairperson of the AU Commission. We have representatives of the Conservative Party from the United Kingdom, and we have representatives of the CDU and allied parties from Germany. So far, these are the confirmations we have.
Na bamba wonsem so say Dr. Sasu Mensah wono na woye MTTD Director of Operations ono so ache se wo de nneoma ahodo nyina agu akwan mu a wo hwe se bamba betimi agya na so akwan ne akwantempo so kopim se dwumadie no bewie e kire so no bibia bedadin.
Practically what we are going to do is we are going to cordon off the enclaves of where the event is going to be held. That is at the forecourt of Parliament on the 7th of January 2021. To manage traffic along the enclaves, this is what we intend to do. We intend to close or block some routes within the arena. And the routes that we are going to block or close are first the Osu Cemetery traffic light on the local street. That road is totally going to be sealed. Then again, we are talking about the Castle Road from the AU Circle to Osu Cemetery traffic light. Then we are also talking about the crossroads heading towards the Starless 95 or the Starless 91 Street. Then the Independence Arc near the Ohene Jan Sports Stadium. We are also talking of the Gamal Abdul Nasser Avenue, which is near the Ghana Institute of Journalism Road on the Haile Selassie Street. Then finally, we are talking, or we are going to block or partially seal the Opebia 37 Hospital Interchange and the Akwaji on the Liberation Road. If you are not accredited, if you have not been given invited guest tickets, you will not be allowed entry into the inner corridor or inner cordon. All other vehicles will be allowed to park at the Independence Square, and occupants subsequently bused or chauffeured to where the event is going to take place. Traffic police officers will definitely be positioned on various routes to assist the motoring public. While the public is to note that any vehicle, let me stress, any vehicle which is parked at an authorized place would be towed and the drivers or owners prosecuted. The general public, especially motorists, are once again urged to cooperate with the police to ensure effective and efficient traffic management to ensure the success of the event.
Yensa ye china yenko parliament na yene emrahye bedwafo bi eni nkomo emrahye bedwafo bi etise Sene West emrahye bedwane onimunyamfo Twumasi Ampofo na afi onimunyamfo Evans Opoku Bobi Esunafo North yene omu eni nkomo ne emrahye bedwafo na hodo no yene omu ni nkomo na yemisa wo mu sede ensem no esitie yensa ntwerefo
so far the afibia adia ose no so company bana sene run tie no obe deliver the message no and the president deliver the message but before then no yen chia me chia tiefo nyina ama atiefo nyina ne ahwefo nyina afi chiapa se afipa akwa beto yen president akanen sam de but president sam a wakan ye hwe se obedi ne sam no so ebi sam no ye keka de be muslim no ya na intimi ni so sane ye enti yana emma na ha adwene enti ye hwese last year ana last empanse yare no kwan fa so kon yare no ese yare na nkoi besisia no me covid no ase ye hu se ye koso test e the figures no ba be ade hu hia ya o se ye hwe ho ase ye pa cause yare na wo ho nkoi enti nsema president aka so be ye e wa fi no a year going forward no yeah say ebebam the last any state of the nation address our money election no so ya ye no ye pasumdue e wo man mu enunti me de me hwe say free and fair elections no ye be hwe say bibia betoto na kwa mu na emfa oyene ne ohaw bia emreye afi say abade oto na odi nkunim na odi no yia wa wasumjo amma o amansa nyina so asumju omo be hoy ba ya twitwitwiri ni ade wo mu no ena de basabasa ene oye ne ba enti esrese nsem na wo court no ni nyina no eye aman mu mpanimfo eye judges no ombe make sure se omde no koreba to ba bi da na ade asumdwe abreye ye man ye esrese asumdwe no be koso asumdwe wo man no ensei if is election there yeah free me money fee there Dr. Frejan who say no yeah election boss why yisi boss why ansana Charlotte Seba you who elections ya declare no bed 6 times near change figures I don't know ya dia as you fini ye na ya de niam atutu ye say
me fan say enema to chima kakra wodi nokre ama no ama na urade e de atudwa ama Ghana fo nyina ho ena modern monso a wabo eno nso waka na wokane nyina afu a de me hu ye ne se ne kasa etwetwe ye kasa ode pray enkabo mu e de ama oman Ghana de broni be kan se corporation no se baby ayeduru no ye nyina ye be yeko na anamontu ayetu ne bibia no ye de be chichire wo man no ama timamufo nso adi de menzo so mefa sa akonwa so na masre o man ne nyina obia owo leadership position akandi ena nyame ayinu a oye wo man mu no onhwe o mampanyine ne kasa de ene ne nkabo mu kasa ne wakan no no nso ne fa bia na bia ba bia ono nso te no omfa ne nedwuma e man nkabo mu so nkomra na Ghana nso enkonkan.
The President of the Republic, who is saying, they can talk about COVID, you know, about the elections, outcome, you know, who is it?
Oh, Majidi say, Odi can, why effect, Manda Bay, in the summer, the tent is very spacious, and to be a baby, it's not fine. Now, the state of the nation, yeah, or the no cheddar, a ban or so, na inflation on them 15%, deficit 9%. No. Them yenis kasem go to why ye auto dubium so Ghana you go through a lot of difficulties, especially this COVID period when we thought things were going to kick in. Unfortunately, COVID be suma abandoned too much shemo no and the honor World Health Organization or use a standard procedure for BBR COVID will affect. In fact, actually mana kesa when your problems in yana and in the examples will use will control. On completely the issue leadership of service. I told you so the relations are your koi. Obiale who do a free affair. Inti maybe what better was said no and now what can Ugun Hufino on some fata. Now I strongly believe that Yami Adum Thursday Oba is going to prove a point. First now cause a loose Greater Accra, ne lose Ghana Nambwa. And they lose Greater Accra also won the country. And another sinu vote is on Yakwa. Danu Bino. Ebi Midday 27,000. Near the time Kakao Moya 40,000. What the better benim will really like we win the landslide. Ebimu what the 300,000. The road like they have one landslide. I ain't we need over 500,000 be on Tasi. In your skin pain. Tell me the bear sometimes make it skin pain. In time the majority there's a Ghana no boko anima. The minya man kitten the bim why you do Ghana fino. I said we jay. Nado is shown to be a great leader who has been able to put this country together in the last 4 years. And 4 more that man so you the power there or the B or the Beckham. Now some crow came out of then Galamsey. What's a Galamsey assembly? Young politics in from the Council. Whether we should all allow it to become a problem. Young can't no soon. But the young tremendous young near yen sucre yen be yen and be a fire bana. Then we should not allow it to get into the political space and become political. So it's a vote in Anka Panka, MPP, so be Anka, so but it's not about vote alone. We can't stay in this country and eat only vote. This country also has to develop. Yankade, Momobiala in your mind, and I do waka, also the Opedo Biala your mining. But Yan is sustainable, so the table will be nearer in your own faso. Asama carbon. And that has been its matter. Mining, fitting and unmarbled way be in the so go ye be, but now also a mine or Ghana. Opera Ghana for a mine in this canoe Ghana for Kotukum. Moroccan, this cannot make a Kotukum. That's all. And I believe that this shows somebody who is genuine about everything that he does. It's not just saying things because of politics. If it was all about voter, but which is the Ghana because Nanado is always thinking about next generation, not the last generation. That's it.
Speech, and as a presentation of the State of the Nation's address. It was brief, so that is encouraging because in the era of COVID, you don't expect say you remember baby in an enclosed place for a very long time. So that is very commendable. However, Midday yawa Midday is following from the announcements of the election results now. Nipa yoku omo in Techiman South and other places. One expected senka oye omampenyi die sa nyome esiwo na pensiono. You know, you would have paid tribute, to the memory of those people who have lost their lives. Again, on the area of economy, I'll say, they have made the economy a lot better. I mean, cameraman Ankasakura Okojum. So the people will decide whether or not. The people have already decided. It clearly tells you, say, Nipadodona any anje amamono, because in Kamamono Elko Kama, you wouldn't move from a majority of 169 seats all of a sudden struggling to even hold on to 137. So that is the verdict of the people of Ghana. Say last 4 years, Omampenyi Akufo-Addo amamono omani enshadanjeho.
Looking at the economy as well.
Yeah. Afe yenko amahudo sunsemu ana Prime Minister Boris Johnson ede kokobo ama UK mine say womo ebeko lockdown na wochi edi animu nti womo hyeda ahyehye wokọ baby etise Scotland a womo kra de womo da so hyem dada aye dendende pa ewo ho anadwi e na womo de lockdown no ba school nyina womo atum ama wo say February efiti ase na womo so womo bia Northern Ireland so eye baby a no so womo stay at home womo de no atoso e na school for so yese womo san ko online learning na enko ne sa wokọ Wales a e won so de lockdown e wo ho dada school college on January there tosu edu nwotwe no mbehwese won bebia ya ka say 800 consultant and doctors nurses and omo frese omo hia PPEs dodo no a e wo mmea hodo bebre kwa na sesi a ya ka say de nipa wo pepepe edo wotwe num 85 million and omo nya COVID-19 bi owi ase nyina and omo mawo nso no ye keka bomo eye opepepe ba ko achiripo enwotwe num me kire 1.85 million death womo wonum awuwo no wempo no John Hopkins University womo ehwehwemu a womo de ababetu edwa eno no ewusia ye nkona fo nkrato mra ye bape ye de agudie wunsem ebeto aso ye ba si
Ciao. Diobi. Hey.